Tottenham battered in the North London derby, simply embarrassing. It ends Arsenal 4, Tottenham 1. Stay tuned to the very end. My honest and balanced thoughts, post-match, my honest reaction, and also my Tottenham player ratings, because this is a bad day. Stay tuned to the end.
You came along, just like a song, and brightened my day. Who'd have believed that you were part of a dream? Now it all seems like years away.
If you're new, please do like and subscribe. So poor day for Spurs at the office. It's not one of those games where you can go, okay, it is a bad day at the office and move on to the next one, bad, but we move on. It's really difficult. You can't just say move on, because these 2 games this season, North London derby, it means so much to the supporters, both sets of fans, and to lose Arsenal away, of course it's frustrating, it's never acceptable, but it's a regular thing in the last few meetings. But it's just the fact that we lose 4-1 and we don't really put up a fight. If I'm honest with you, and I like Thomas Frank and I will defend him still, and I think if you want him out, which I'll get to in a second, I think that is wrong. You can tell it's your opinion, but I don't think we wanted to get rid of him. However, I think you got it wrong with the game plan, but in particular the personnel that he started, and he got it wrong. It's as simple as that. I think as well the players have to take accountability. I think it was a little bit of what I'd call a spineless performance, that fight, and this wasn't a performance there. We didn't turn up, we didn't play our football, we didn't lay a glove on Arsenal, and that is never acceptable. All I would say is, going into a game like this, and I said it before the game, I'll say it again, all we ask for from fans, I don't want to speak on behalf of the fan base too much, but all I ask for is that we give it 110%, we're brave, and we, leave everything on the pitch. We come off and go, look, we worked hard. Okay, Arsenal the better team. We've given it 110%. We didn't. And that's the frustrating thing. I think I like the idea of Frank when I say got his game plan wrong. I think the idea is not stupid to, come to the Emirates, good side, sharp shot, and, grind out a result, be difficult to play against, use Danso from long throw-ins. I think Frank's game plan was all about scoring first through a set piece, and we just didn't score first, and that really hurt us. I think Rice set the tempo, shot in the 3rd minute, and the Arsenal crowd got behind them ever since, and really we could have lost by a lot more. But I don't think we should be wanting Thomas Frank out. I really don't. I think it's early days, and a lot of people say, he's not a big game manager. But at Brentford, he was the big game manager. Look at Brentford's results against Man City, Man United, Chelsea. They're absolutely superb. Frank's literally the big game manager against these top 6 clubs. That's a false narrative that's been pushed. Totally get that we were poor today. And listen, I think everyone's got to hold their hands up. That's the thing. When you lose 4-1 in North London derby and you should have lost by more, don't glare a glove on your opponents, your rivals, then the question should be asked. But it should be asked of everyone at the clubs. The players, whatever instructions they're given, whoever's out there has got to do a much better job. I think Frank's got to get it right, and he didn't. As simple as that. Both of them were poor. They didn't, neither of them done the job. As simple as that. But also, and I'm not just saying this because of the result, but there has to be a level of pressure generally across the board on the new look board. Just because they're new doesn't mean necessarily that he should be, have a few years settling. There has to be this expectation on them without being unkind, but also the hierarchy and ENIC in general, because for me, ENIC, they just frustrate me, right? Because I think it's PR stunt after PR stunt after PR stunt. It's words and not action. And I'd say to them, look, this is on you. You need to be bigger. In January window, and also in transfer windows in general, but it comes first in January. You need to go bigger, you need to go bolder, and you need to act and go faster. What I mean by that is bigger names, and that links with bolder in terms of, if you're bigger, you sound bigger names. If you're bolder, you compete with other clubs and you get your elbows out a little bit, kind of competitive in the market and going quicker. We know that means just get these moves done quicker. And I just think, it's all words, not action from ENIC right now, and they have to take responsibility because Frank has not been given the tools. It's as simple as that. Look across the board, we've got some really nice players and some good players, don't get me wrong, but difference is these players are decent, but how many would get into Arsenal's team that we just lost 4-1 against? Let's be honest with you. How many do? Not many, if I'm being honest with you. In terms of who looks at starting 11, Romero and Van der Ven, maybe it's a good debate to have with Gabriel and Saliba. Apart from that, you're clutching at straws. You really are, and that is a sad reality. Nice guys. I'm not even going to say they're average. I think it's disrespectful. They're decent players, and there's good players within that. Romero, Van der Ven, Bergval, players like that. When they're fit, Madison, Kulusevski, these are good players. Xavi Simons, hopefully in the future. But world beaters, world-class players, that's the gap in quality for Spurs, and we can't achieve ex-Gem and Daniel Levy's goal winning the Premier League and Champions League if we don't act like that in the market. But player ratings, then, let's run you through without waffling too long. For Cario, I'll give a 4. His distribution was poor, and it's not just because he's a Tottenham goalkeeper was the reason he got the pressure from the crowd at the Emirates in this game, because they recognise it's a weakness, he's vulnerable. Jed Spence, I'll give a 4. I think with Spence that he done okay. I think it'd be fair to say. But sometimes I just think, I don't know, I don't want to say he's not consistent. I don't think he's consistent. That's the thing, you don't quite know what you're going to get from him. And some things he does really well, shielding the ball defensively. So again, I find it difficult for him. But I think he's done reasonably okay in keeping Trossard quiet. But having said that, Trossard's also had a couple of moments. Romero, I'll give a 4. Just annoyed me getting booked for dissent. That means he misses Tottenham's next game against Fulham. That's a huge blow. That's just silly. He should be punished for that, unfortunately, and let his team down, himself down too. Dance, I'll give a 5. I think he's purely played for the idea of long throw-ins. He done okay. Didn't put a foot wrong, really. Just part of a miserable backline and a failing backline. Van der Ven, I'll give a 5. Definitely not Mickey Van der Ven's finest game. Giving the ball away too much and poor. However, his recovery pace, but in particular his blocks. Van der Ven was his blocks last minute to deny Arsenal from scoring even more goals was key. Udogie, I'll give him a low 3.5, maybe slightly harsh, but I just think that he plays everyone on side for one of those goals. I think it was a Trossard's goal that will cut back where I didn't think Trossard's touch was good, but Doggie's playing him all on side quite drastically. We're dropping back. That's poor. It's the lack of concentration from Doggy that costed Tottenham there. Real lack of concentration. So that was poor. And I think he's done an okay job with Saka, but at the same time, it's the best time I've seen. It's the best I've seen Saka for a little while. But I think he's done okay with him. But still, Doggy, I'm not sure about his performance in this game at all. Not convinced. It was positive, and I want him to be Tottenham's starting left back, so he has balance and he's right for that side. But it didn't give me much confidence, let's say, after this. But then we move into that midfield, and I'd give Bentancur a 3. I just think it wasn't the Uruguayan's day. It just clearly couldn't get into the game. He's not the only one, but I just think he could have stepped up today. He's that type of player who has the ability to keep hold of the ball, to move the ball on. And in terms of short passing, short distance passing, clever player, didn't use that. Paulinho given an impressive 6, double the score of his midfield partner in this game, Bentancur. And his second half, I thought Paulinho was good. I thought he's aggressive, he showed fight for the badge, for the heart, and really represented the Tadares to do, which I like Thomas Frank, but that's really missing right now. We're not showing any fight in terms of an attacking point of view. We're not. Where's his press gone? Frank, he's every Frank team I've watched, high press. High press. Where's that gone? So that's really frustrating. But Paulinho impressed me 6. Kudus, I give a 4. I don't know if it's his best game, and I know he's just come back from injury, but he's looking to make things happen, and he's good at getting out of tight areas, but he needs to offer more and needs to stop being so selfish on the ball. Richarlison, I give a 6. World-class goals, no right to score from there. That notices that Raya's off his line. Full credit to him for that, and also I think that he's working hard, doesn't get anything. But that's the thing, we get a player like Richarlison, they go over far too easily, they're always moaning, always whinging, always involved in getting yellow cards, which I love that fight in North London Derby, and I love that he always fights for the badge. Richarlison, he's a player that he's frustrating to watch, and I might want to sell, but you love him in a London Derby. But he does work hard, and it just never gives up, and he doesn't get anything anyway from the referee. But I know why. A lot of it he shouldn't get, if that makes sense. So he claims for a lot, and the things that genuinely are fouls he doesn't get because of how that diving and kind of reaction away from that. So that's on him. Alderweireld, give a 4. Not really given anything. It's all about Richarlison not giving any service because he wasn't. Alderweireld's given nothing really to work with on the ball. Subs there, and Simmons, I give a 5.5. Give credit to him. Head down, he takes on players, he's fearless, and we really lacked that kind of fearless element in the game. Not always got the quality to keep on the ball or know when to pass at the moment anyway. I think that will change. Confidence and time with his teammates and with Frank and with England, with the Premier League, etc. Learning language, learning his place in the team. 5.5 I'll go with. Sarr, I give a 5. Come on, I had a little bit of energy. Didn't get to see him though too much. Moani, give a 6. I think he come on, looked really good on the ball. Won the ball back a couple of times in his own box actually, so that really did stand out to me. And Porro, I'll give a 5. Involved in a bust up, or a little bust up with Rice. So full credit to Porro with that. It's boosting my ranking instantly. But no, all jokes aside, good. Well, so it wasn't a good cross-field pass, but a little nutmeg and a good attempted idea. A good idea, it's a better way of putting it, of an attempted pass. And then Johnson, non-applicable, didn't see him for long enough. Those are my player ratings. But overall, for Tottenham, it was disappointing. I think it is a big week for Frank, PSG and Fulham, because, let's say, hypothetical, hopefully it don't happen, but we lose both of them, or we lose to PSG and draw to Fulham. There is pressure on Frank. I don't think that's right yet. Of course, there should be pressure on every Tottenham manager, and I think Frank, some things he hasn't done as good as I thought he would be, like with the press, but I still think it's early days, and for me he needs time, so I don't even entertain that conversation yet. But if you disagree with me, please do say in the comments below. It doesn't mean you're wrong or anything, that's just how I feel. I'm not saying what you should believe, but I just, in my honest opinion, I think you've got to get behind Frank, but that's just what I think at all. Doesn't mean it's right. Thanks for watching. If you're the channel, please like and subscribe. Miserable day at the office, but I enjoyed getting, not ranting at all, because I don't do that here, but getting it off my chest, talking to you guys, but keen to get involved. And to be fair, Eze, scoring a hat-trick against Tottenham, it pains me to say it, but written, wasn't it? What they call written in the stars. I knew he was going to have the game of his life that he'll never have again, and never has had as good of a player as he is. But scoring a hat-trick I didn't see coming, and that kind of Frank quote of Eze who, or who did you say, who is Eze? It's going to really hurt. But you know what, I think you've got to get the balance of today, lastly, of just saying credit Arsenal, who are just so much better than us, let's be honest with you, and putting a really good performance, but also recognise that our performance was concerning. I don't think fans have the brain cell, the capacity to go Arsenal were great and Tottenham were awful. I think it's the blame game or one or the other. But they're my thoughts. Thanks for watching. COYS Spurs.
You came